more and more ambiguous than the archangel known as Michael. Yet despite his minuscule presence in the Bible, Archangel Michael has cultivated a massive devotion from not only those from the Christian faith, but also the Jewish and Islamic faiths as well, given that Archangel Michael appears across all three religious texts in some capacity. However, there are those that would believe that Archangel Michael's appearance in this manner is subject to interpretation. In this video, we'll be primarily focusing on Michael's presence in the Bible, as this is a Biblical Stories Explained series, but I will be touching on stories and legends originating from both Jewish and Islamic texts to give you an unbiased and hopefully more complete picture of who Archangel Michael really is, as well as what he means to people today. He is considered to be the biblical God's finest champion, a being so powerful that he is able to banish Lucifer from heaven by himself without direct intervention from God. His name, which means he who is as God, is usually considered to be an angel of protection, and perhaps the most powerful of all of God's angels. It goes without saying that as the most powerful, Michael is the leader within the realm of angels.
A solar storm is heading straight for Earth in a direct hit, according to NASA, prompting fears of blackouts from the fast and strong impact. Fast solar winds rocketed out of the sun on January 29th along with a coronal mass ejection, CME. This means a solar storm has been tipped to reach the Earth by February 2nd. A CME is a large expulsion of plasma and magnetic field that explodes from the sun's corona, its outer layer. These contain billions of tons of fast-moving solar particles as well as the magnetic field that binds them. Dr. Tammy Fuskov, a space weather scientist, posted on Twitter, direct hit. NASA, no Met Office predictions agree the solar storm launched Jan 29 will hit Earth by early February 2. She later added, the earlier post showed NOAA/SWPC prediction. This one shows the NASA prediction, which indicated the solar storm could hit as early as 18:00 GMT on February 1st. The final post is the Met Office prediction. This model shows the solar storm hitting by 05:00 GMT on February 2nd. So we have a range from 18:00 GMT on February 1st to 05:00 GMT February 2. If the solar storm hits early, it will be faster and stronger. If hits late, slower.
Says I'll be up in no time. But that's not what I have to tell you, Mom. Something happened to me that I don't dare tell anyone else for fear of their disbelief. But I have to tell you, the one person I can confide in, though even you may find it hard to believe. You remember the prayer to St. Michael that you taught me to pray when I was little? Michael, Michael of the morning. Before I left home for Korea, you urged me to remember this prayer before any confrontation with the enemy. But you really didn't have to remind me, Mom. I've always prayed. And when I got to Korea, I sometimes said it a couple times a day while marching or resting. Well, one night, it was a really cold day. As I was walking along, I perceived another fellow walking beside me, and I looked to see who it was. He was a big fellow, a Marine about 6'4", built proportionally. Funny, I was glad to have the company, and broke the silence between us. Chilly today, isn't it? Then I chuckled, because suddenly it seemed absurd to talk about the weather when we were advancing to meet the enemy. He chuckled too, softly. I thought I knew everyone in my outfit, but I've never seen you before, I continued.
No, I've just joined. My name is Michael.
Really? That's mine too.
I know. Michael of the morning.
Mom, I was really surprised that he knew about my prayer.
Only 1% of the force traveled down into the ground. vibrant enough to ring the planet like a bell. Triceratops panic at the edges of the valley in their desperate attempt to escape the tremors and falling debris. Ejecta cloud approaches at 16,000 kilometers per hour, baking the Earth with unrelenting heat. Of static electricity charge the cloud like a giant battery, creating a vast electrical storm. Superheated rocks shower the valley in a burning hail. The Quetzalcoatlus managed to flee the devastation caused by the quake. There's no way to hide from a rain of fire. Only the valley floor can provide shelter, and they're too big to descend quickly.
Fascinated by the sun and have always wanted to know more about it. We know how hot it is, we know how large it is too, but we don't have a lot about what makes it tick or why it acts the way it does. I'm sure you can understand why having speeds of more than 1 million miles per hour or 1.6 million kilometers per hour.
Said to be a demon of childbirth. Their sole purpose in this world is to interfere with human reproduction. Usually they take the form of a scrawny old woman with a clay nose and a bright red face. She also has sharp fangs, dishevelled hair, copper claws, iron teeth and the tusks of a wild boar. The old woman attacks pregnant women, but like the evil being it is, it only strikes when they are alone and at their most vulnerable. She wants their organs and will attempt to take the woman's liver or lung. Afterwards, she will put them in a basket which she carries around with her at all times. If she is successful, the demon will attempt to escape and cross the first source of water. That's important because at that point the woman cannot be saved. Believers use special wards or charms to prevent the demon from reaching water, thereby saving the pregnant woman and the baby she is carrying. Next up at number 9 now we have the manticore. This is an ancient Persian creature of legend that has been both feared and revered over the millennia. It's said to have the head of a human, the body of a lion and a tail made up of venomous spines similar to porcupine quills or perhaps even the actual tail of a scorpion. Its appearance has been compared to the Sphinx of ancient Egypt. The manticore's name literally translates to man-eater, which kind of gives you a clue as to what it's all about. Ancient descriptions talk of its 3 rows of sharp teeth and the fact that it would hurl its poisonous spikes at enemies like arrows. Essentially, this creature was like all the scary things in the animal kingdom packed into one animal whose name is literally man-eater. I don't think they would have made very good pets. Moving on to number 8 now, we have the Peri. These are winged of a mistreated girl who stuff. Next up, number 6 now, guys, we have the ghoul. With a name like that, how could it not be on this list? A ghoul is actually an old Arabic word that didn't even enter the English language until the late 18th century. In Persian culture, ghouls are demons or monsters associated with graveyards or consuming people's flesh. Some accounts state that a ghoul lives in the desert and shapeshifts into animals in order to hunt humans. One of its favorite forms is that of a hyena. The ghoul lures unwary people out into the desert. Once they are totally alone and out of sight of all other people, the ghoul kills and devours them on the spot. The creature also eventually, the male's tattered wings can no longer keep him aloft. The cloud arrives. Just hours ago, North America was a dinosaur paradise. The ejector cloud continues its spread across the globe. But the effects it has on the ground vary dramatically. 12,000 kilometers away in Mongolia, the cloud rolls in silently from the east. Temperatures on the ground creep upwards, a few degrees hotter every second. There's no audible warning for the creatures here, only the mounting heat. As the air reaches 50 degrees Celsius, they're only